So we want to go to the next category, which is solving natural log equations. We'll do 3 examples from here as well. Okay, so when we have this log, it's a natural log. The ln stands for natural log. I think we briefly talked about this, but not too much. But let me just write it out, that a log base e of some number, I'll just put some number. You don't write it with a log of base e. E was special enough that they just came up with ln. And then so ln is just a log with a base e. And it's called a natural logarithm. Why does the L come before the N in natural logarithm? Probably because it was written in French or something like that, but not English. Anyways, let's try to get our natural logarithm by itself. So, that would be this part. So I want to get this part that I just boxed together. I want to get that by itself. So in order to do that, let's first get rid of that -1. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. I'm going to rewrite that over here because I have space here. So that gives us 5 ln of 4x plus 3 equals 20. Because, those will cancel out. We just want the ln. Okay, so the next thing is we want to get rid of this 5 because we don't want this 5. We just want the ln by itself. So I'm going to get rid of it by dividing everything by 5. That way that can cancel out. This is a 5, by the way. My 5's cancel out. We finally have ln by itself. 20 divided by 5 is just 4. Oops, I forgot to close my parentheses. There we go. So remember that ln is a log base e. So we're going to rewrite this in exponential form. So knowing that our base is e, even though you don't see it, it's a base of e. So e to the power of 4, trying to point at my exponent, e to the power of 4 is equal to 4x plus 3, the value. Okay, now before I move on, are there any questions up until here? All right, so now our next step is to get x by itself. So we have a 4x plus 3 equals e to the power 4. Actually, I'm going to rewrite this up here because I have to find space. So e to the power 4 is equal to 4x plus 3. Okay, so from here, we just want to get x by itself. So you solve it the same way you would solve for x in most other situations. So you just subtract 3. You don't have to bother with what e to the power 4 is. We're just going to leave it in those terms. So e to the power 4 minus 3, literally like that, is equal to 4x. And those cancel each other out. So we're going to have our answer in terms of e. Like you don't have to, actually you should not be typing it in your calculator because e to the power 4 is going to give you some decimal that will go on forever. And they want the exact value. So unless you're going to spend your rest of your life typing it in, and even after you die, typing in all those decimal places to get the exact answer, which obviously you're not going to do, you should just use the letter E because that will give you exact. Because if you don't type forever, then you will be rounding, and rounding will not be exact. So if they're asking for the exact value of x, you must leave it in terms of E. So we have e to the power of 4 minus 3 is equal to 4x. Then to get x by itself, you're going to divide by 4. Those cancel out. You literally just get the fraction e to the power of 4 minus 3 over 4 is equal to x. So your final answer is this thing. Remember, leave the e in it. You want your answer in terms of e because that's the only way you can get the exact value. Okay, so now that that's done, are there any questions for this problem? All I have to do now is just type it in. So e to the power of 4 minus 3 over, oops, okay. So I guess if I want all of this over 4, I have to do parentheses around everything. There we go, and then over 4. So you would type it like that. If you're wondering, where do I find the letter E? Like, you literally use your keyboard to type the letter E, okay? So on the keyboard, E, and then to the power of 4 minus 3 over 4. Submit answer. Next problem. Next problem. There we go. Okay, let me get rid of all of these old annotations. So remember, we have to get our ln by itself. So let me box that out so that we know that this is what we want by itself. So in order to get that ln, the natural log by itself, I'm going to add 15 to both sides. So that's what we're going to start off with. Add 15 to both sides. Cancels out. I'm going to write this over here. So we have 3 ln of 3x plus 10 is equal to, because these cancel out, remember, negative 9 plus 15 is going to give us 6. Then, remember, we still want our ln, our natural log, by itself, so I'm going to get rid of that 3 by dividing by 3. Dividing by 3 cancels out. We will get our natural log of 3x plus 10 equals 2. So, let me see. I guess I could give you guys some time to write just in case. So let me know if you need time to write. Okay, so remember that ln is a log of base e. So even though I'm pointing to pretty much nothing, it looks like it's an e. So our base is e to the power of 2 equals the value of 3x plus 10. So e squared is equal to 3x plus 10. Remember, leave your answer in terms of e. So we're not going to type this in the calculator or anything. You're just going to have e squared. Leave it like e squared. Now, in order to get x, we have to do 2 steps. First, we're going to subtract 10. So it's literally e squared minus 10 equals 3x, and those cancel out. I'm going to rewrite this because I need space. E squared minus 10 is equal to 3x. Okay, and then finally, to get x by itself, just divide by 3 so that those cancel out. We get x finally, and then we have the fraction e squared minus 10 over 3. Final answer. Any questions? Please let me know. Okay, so then let me just type this in. Remember, because we want a fraction, I'm going to type it in parentheses. So e squared minus 10. I put the upper part, the numerator, in parentheses so that when I press divided by, it will all be divided by 3. So e squared minus 10 over 3. Submitting answer, yes, I want to submit it. Let's go to the next problem. And let's scoot this down a little. And then clear screen. Okay, so once again, we want our natural log by itself. So that's that part. That's the thing that we want by itself in our first overall goal. So then to do that, I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Sorry, my plus signs look weird, but there you go. Add 2, add 2. That line was nowhere near straight, but that's okay. Cross that out. 2 ln of 7x plus 6 equals, those cancel out, remember? So it's equal to 14. I don't know why I wrote it in that squishy little space when I need to rewrite it again up here. So 2 natural log 7x plus 6 equals 14. Okay, so once again, we want our natural log. So in order to do that, we're going to divide everything by 2. So that those cancel out. We are left with natural log of 7x plus 6 equals 7. So now that we have our natural log by itself, we've accomplished our first goal. And then the next thing we want to do is rewrite in exponential form to help us solve for x. So I'm going to rewrite this in exponential form. So we have a base of e. Even though you don't see it, a natural log will have a base of e. So if you see ln, that's the natural log, and it has a base of e, raised to the power of 7 is equal to the value of 7x plus 6. Remember, do not type e to the power of 7 in your calculator. It will give you some decimal number that goes on forever, and we want the exact value. So you're not going to spend forever typing in decimals. You are going to just leave it in terms of e. So e to the power of 7 is equal to 7x plus 6. Now we can solve for x the same way we always do. So subtract 6. Literally, e to the power of 7 minus 6 is equal to 7x. Let me rewrite that because I need space. You don't have to rewrite it, but I'm rewriting it because I run out of space like all the time. e to the power 7 minus 6 is equal to 7x. And finally, to get x, we're going to divide by 7. Those can cancel out. We just get x, then we get e to the power of 7 minus 6 over 7 is our final answer. It's a fraction. But before I go type it in, are there any questions? Cool, so let me go ahead and type this in. E to the power of 7. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I don't know how I managed that. There we go. E to the power of 7 minus 6 over 7. There we go. And let's submit. Okay, so that was it for these examples. So if you have any questions, call me over into your breakout room. And then other than that, you guys are free to keep working on your own.